Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Joyful Journeys as we highlight people from our 25 years in Northern Virginia as we celebrate our anniversary this year. Today, I am so excited to be joined by Becky and Kai Wheeler. Welcome, guys.
Thank
Hi,
you.
thanks.
I am so excited to talk to you guys and hear more about your time in Girls on the Run together as a mom and daughter duo, talking about being a coach in the program, but also being a participant on the same team. So, why don't you guys kind of kick us off? Tell me a little bit about when you were in the program, what it was like as a participant, what it was like being coached by your mom. Tell me all those fun things.
Yeah, so I was in the program from 2013 to 2017, so my third grade through sixth grade year. And I remember she didn't coach like my first year. I had a different coach then, but after that, then she kind of took over for the program at Orange Hunt. And it was really, really fun having her as a coach, and my family was always really involved. My little brother would come and stay at practices because I stayed after as well. And then my dad would always run the races with me. I remember our first spring, we made tutus and custom like tie-dye t-shirts, and my dad raced in a tutu as well. So it was all just like really a good experience and really positive and uplifting that I like. That's re like the positives that I remember really.
I love that. And Becky, what about you? What do you remember from it? What was it like?
Oh, I loved it. I loved getting to know all the girls. Like she said, the first year she was in it, the first fall, I was more of an observer from the outside. We had just moved to the area. And so it was a great way for her to join. She always loved running from when she was little. And then this helped her meet other kids in the school since she was new to it. And the second, during the spring, I helped a little bit more. And then when the coaches started to have their daughters age out, I took over the program. And it was so fun getting to go to even I did several of the coaches training in person and getting to meet other coaches in the area. Um, and then watching the girls develop each year and go through the program together. Most of the girls stayed in it from third through sixth grade, which was amazing.
That is pretty cool. I love being able, like as a coach, I love being able to see them start so young and continue each season and each year, however that site decides to do it, but being able to kind of watch them grow through the program. And I'm sure you probably had this experience with some of the kids, but I know there are a few that their leadership skills just kind of stand out. And by the time they get to that last year in elementary school, they're like, oh, I know what to do. I know how to lead this activity. And they kind of step up and they're almost like junior coaches in a way. Did you experience that as well?
Yeah, because a lot of them that started with Kai in their third grade year, by the time they were getting to their sixth grade, they definitely took over, welcomed all the new girls, led some of the activities, and definitely were leaders when we were out doing, when they would run their laps
Hmm.
after the activities.
That's awesome. And that's great that Kai was one of them. I love
Yes.
it. Well, as a coach, I would love to hear your perspective of when you started or when you put Kai first in the program and kind of maybe how your thoughts of the program might have changed. Like for example, when I started coaching with Girls on the Run, I did it because I liked running and I was like, yeah, sure, I want to go run with other people and help kids learn that running is so amazing. But I so quickly realized that it was so much more than running. And I had no idea that the social emotional learning component was such a big piece of it. And that really just, I mean, I fell in love with the program, with the curriculum, with everything about Girls on the Run just after my first season coaching. So I'm curious if you had a similar experience or if you knew already that the curriculum included that stuff. So maybe you weren't as surprised, but love to hear your take on it.
Yeah, no, we had no idea what Girls on the Run was. We just thought it was a running program. Like I said, she had always loved running from a young age. And when we got here, we're like, this is great. She can run after school. We knew that there was a 5K at the end of the season. I had no idea about the curriculum and all that goes into it. And the more I learned about it, and then definitely as I started to coach, the more I really loved the program. And getting to see some girls that would come in that were sort of shy or didn't talk, by the end of the season really open up. And we had a lot of, I think, sort of, they were a really close-knit group and there was a lot of challenges through many of the seasons and they really bonded and supported each other through those. So it was great to see the curriculum sort of help them as they grew together.
Yeah, that is really cool that there was kind of a group of them that you could watch together because it's cool to see one or two of them take their own path and grow, but that's really special when there's a group of them and they can kind of help build off of each other and continue learning with each other as a group. I love that. I also have to go back and touch on the fact that your dad wore a tutu during the 5K because that's amazing and one of my favorite things to see when I'm standing by the finish line watching everybody come in. Every time I see a dad in a tutu, I have to take a picture of it. It is just that is like the full level of support that you could be providing at the 5K. I love that. Well, why don't we talk about where you are now? Kai, tell us what you're up to today.
So I'm going into my junior year at Longwood University, and I'm on their cross country and track and field team as well. And I'm a health and PE major, hoping to become an elementary PE teacher once I graduate.
That's amazing. Love that. Also, as a Longwood alum myself, love it even more. Go Longwood Lancers, love it. But what is it like being on a team now, even on a team in high school? How does it compare to your Girls on the Run team? What skills did you learn at Girls on the Run that kind of have helped you be able to be on teams now?
I feel like Girls in the Run really taught me how to set goals that are like achievable, how to set like small goals and also big goals as well. So like whether it's one really big goal that I want to finish by the end of the year, I'll have small goals along the way to build up to that. And really to like it helped me learn like if I don't achieve that goal, say that like during that one race specifically, that that's okay, that I gave it my best for that day and that like I can still work towards that goal. And I also feel like Girls in the Run really taught me to never give up and to have resilience throughout my whole running career. Because one of my races, I had to completely walk the whole thing with one of my coaches because I was having some knee issues the whole season. And so having my team behind me, like supporting me, being like, it's okay, like you're still gonna finish it, you're still gonna do it, like we're all still gonna be here supporting you. Because I remember and this is something that I still do today, and I did it all throughout high school, was we would stay till the very last runner finished across the finish line. And I did that all throughout high school, and I vividly remember like my last cross country meet in high school, me and my best friend, like we stayed by the finish line to cheer on the last girl as she finished across the finish line. And like I still do that today, and I like to like cheer on other people while we're actually racing. I'm like, you are my competitor, but at the end of the day, I also want you to do well. And I remember like one year we raced at NXR in high school, and I told one of the girls that I liked her singlet that she was wearing, and she like helped push me through the entire race but just because I made that one little comment. And so I think it's really taught me to like the more uplifting you are, like the better outcome you're gonna have because other people are gonna like want you to do good as well. And I feel like that has really helped carried me to where I am today and built me into the person who I am.
Yeah, that that is so important. And so I just love that you would wait for the last person to cross the finish line. I mean, normally by the end of really any race you're at, the crowd is kind of slowing down. There's not as many people left at the finish line. So just showing your support to people that you don't even know. I mean, that speaks volumes to who you are as a person, but I mean, that's the kind of support that we should be giving everyone on during races, in lives, at work, all over the place. So I love that you kind of instilled that in yourself from a pretty young age. Like starting that in high school is that's pretty young to start that. But I love that that's become such an important part to racing and just who you are as a person. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Becky, what about you? Did you learn anything from the program that you kind of took into your life that you use today or that you use professionally, anything like that?
I think just how I approach different situations in my job. I'm a pediatric occupational therapist, so I work with a lot of different families and different people, and so it helped me get connected sort of the community when we were here and foster some new relationships and do some more networking and like those sort of things, both professionally and personally. It's great to see now, like I'm still friendly with many of the coaches. All of our kids have kind of stayed but gone in different paths, sports wise. So some of them continue to run. And so we get to see some of them even at the collegiate level in Virginia. So it's great to see some of the girls that I coached and what they're doing now.
That's really cool, being able to still watch them today and cheer them on just like you did before. I bet that's
Yep.
super special to them as well.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Kai, you haven't brought this up, so I'm going to make you bring it up. But when we met over the summer, it was because Girls on the Run of Northern Virginia was trying out this new thing called Camp GOTR, and we were lucky enough to have you as our designated camp counselor. But then I think you also got to play a big role in being a coach to those kids that were on our summer team. So I want to hear kind of what that was like for you as you were once in their position. Granted, it was a little bit of a different setting, but they were still learning the same concepts that you learned. So what was that like being their coach this time around?
It was really interesting and it was a lot of fun because some of those girls have come back for other camps and like one of the girls I saw her last week because she was doing the track and triathlon camp and she came right up to me and she was so excited to see me and I like was so excited to see her because I wasn't expecting to see any of them again. And it was really interesting to see them like grow throughout the program, like the week that we had, because I remember on the very first day, like everyone was super, super quiet and like not talkative at all. But by the end of the week, like everyone was super comfortable with each other. And then to see them do their different activities with each other and all just bond and like learn to communicate with each other was really cool to see from like the outside of it. And like I think it really has like made me want to coach girls in the run now when I become a PE teacher after I graduate. Like I feel like the I like to see when other people grow and learn that they love running as well. It just like is such a fulfillment and like makes me so happy.
Well, once you do get to be a PE teacher and bring Girls on the Run to your school, or maybe just continue the program, you're going to be such a good coach. And it's going to be so special to those kids who are on your team to know that you were in their shoes at one time and that because of being in that program, that's kind of what inspired you to keep it going and to become their coach. And I think that is going to mean so much to them. So that is great. I can't wait until you're a coach. It's going to be so exciting.
And as her mom, I loved hearing the stories. She came home every day that week with stories from Girls on the Run camp. And she talked about like having a full circle moment when she got to sit with the girls on the last day
Mhm.
and watch Nikki Hiltz run. And she said it was great to like
Oh,
share that moment with them. They all sat in the stands, watched on her phone with the girls all huddled around her. And she just came home and was beaming when she told us that story.
It wasn't Nikki Hiltz, it was Faith
Oh, it
Kipyegon.
was Faith Kipyegon, sorry.
right,
When trying
right.
to break
Yes.
four. Sorry,
That's
wrong
right.
race.
That I loved when you asked them during snack time, like, hey, who would be interested in this? And they were like, yes, let's do this. They were so excited. And that's because of how excited you were and how passionate you were about it. And I mean, you talked it up. You told them that, like, hey, guys, this is going to be like history in the making. This is huge. Like, women supporting women. Let's do this. It was you really like got them so excited for that. And as an outside runner, it was really special to see how excited you got them for it. I wish I could have been there when you were all watching it because I would have loved to just like record them all huddled around you and all excited with you. But that was truly special. I'm glad that I at least got to be there when you asked them if they wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
That was great. Well, is there anything else, either like in your everyday life or things that have kind of popped up since you've been in Girls on the Run that remind you of Girls on the Run? Like something happens and you're like, oh, hey, that like kind of triggers a Girls on the Run memory for me.
I feel like different activities that like I've done at like school or even in like camps this summer, like different things that we've done that I'm like, oh my gosh, I did that when I was younger. Like I saw this group of girls, they were doing it in the morning before like they broke off into their camps and they were playing, I think it was called Ships and Sailors. And I remember we learned how to play that in Girls in the Run and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I remember playing that as a warm-up activity before we would do laps." And it's just funny because like watching all of them do it now, like thinking that I was like, "Oh my gosh, I did that when I was younger."
Yeah. Oh, that is so cool. That must have, did it make you like want to join in and kind of
Yeah,
relive those
I
days?
was like, oh my gosh, what if I go join in with them and like I do it?
Oh, I love that. That is so cool. You have experienced Girls on the Run from so many different perspectives now. And I can't wait to talk to you again once you're a coach and after your first season with them and kind of hear how all of these pieces fit together and how, even as a coach, I'm sure you're going to continue pulling pieces from the curriculum and learning yourself and becoming somehow even an even better person because you're already a great person. Um, but yeah, that is so great. Becky, what about you? Is there anything today that kind of takes you back to your coaching days or just memories that Kai has shared from Girls on the Run?
I think just when we run into the other girls, seeing them out in the community or like I said, at different races. I also love that her father and her still race today. It's sort of something they've continued from when she was little through Girls on the Run, and now as adults, they still do a bunch of 5Ks together, and they always stay with each other.
Oh,
Um, it's never about who's faster or who's trying to win. They run the races together. And I just love to see that bond that they have.
yeah, that's really special. I didn't realize you guys still did that.
Yeah.
Awesome. What was the last one you guys did together?
We did one on the 4th of July.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Oh, in the heat too. Impressive.
Yes.
Well, thank you both so much for joining us today and telling us about your shared Girls on the Run experiences. And it sounds like they're still shared experiences, even though you aren't coaching anymore, Becky, but you still get to hear all the fun stories from camp and hopefully soon from Kai's Girls on the Run team when she graduates.
Mhm.
This episode of Joyful Journeys is brought to you by Girls on the Run of Northern Virginia.